Okay, so here we're back with Alice Baker, A Study in Ice, part 2. You are at the moment in the court, well, not the courtyard, you're in the garden that is part of the estate of Miss Gershwin's preparatory school for girls, established in 1801. And you and Dottie are currently outside to look for Irene, who has disappeared. She has not been seen since the previous evening, when you met her for a private jazz session, I guess. Irene Wellington, and you saw her at dinner afterwards as well. Then she excused herself before everybody else because she said she had a couple of things to do and was also going to do some more practicing. And you didn't see her at breakfast, and it turns out nobody saw her for breakfast. She also hasn't been in the kitchen to maybe get food outside of the normal hours. Nobody's seen her. And you have decided to go looking for her because Miss Brightwood was going to send the hands and your servant Dottie and Alexandra, who's also a servant. But you decided that everybody should go, so you got yourself a light source, a bullseye lantern, whatever they're called, and you're currently outside looking for clues, traces.
Yep.
And it started to snow. And it's kind of getting a little bit murky, and you can see that the sky is turning yellow. And you know that this means, because you have lived here, it means there is a storm coming, and it's probably going to be hail, and it's going to be really cold, and you can actually feel the temperature dropping. You know this is an ice storm in the making.
Okay, then let's use the minutes we have.
Exactly.
So I think Alice would move forwards in direction of the stables. With lights up and calling out for Irene blankly. And she has a mind not to go too far, because from the stables, at least, if you start running, you should be able to get back in before it gets really horrible. So she will stay basically around the ground to be able to get back.
Yeah. You can also see Price, the janitor handyman, do-it-all person, and he's also running around with a light source. His wife is also searching. So when he sees you walking towards the stables, he basically says, "Miss, I'm going to go to the woods at the far end, because the garden is basically one part of the estate, and then there is a little. It's a forest behind it, and then there's only the wall. So you can get lost. It's a huge estate." So he says he's going to check at the far end in the woods if you're going to check the stables.
Perfect. Keep eye on the storm. It will get really awful in a few moments, probably.
He nods and he says, "Well, you know your way around here." And Dottie, of course, knows nothing about this kind of thing, and she just looks at you and she says, "What do you mean, ice storm?"
Well, you see the sky? It's turning yellow, which means also you feel it's getting colder.
Yeah.
It will get really cold, really windy, and it will not be only snow, it will be more like hail because of the wind. Really awful. So as soon as snow starts, we need to get back inside. Let's hope we find her before that, or let's hope she has a safe place.
Okay, so you walk towards the stables. You were there in the morning and there was nothing there, but that doesn't mean that nothing has happened since, because nobody really knows when she left, or if she indeed left, because nobody's been in, as far as you know, nobody's been in her room so far.
Yeah.
So you reach the stables, and you can hear that the horses are restless. There is neighing, there is stomping from the stables, and as you approach the stables and as you approach the door, actually, it's one of those doors that is basically cut in half, so you can either open just the top, or you can open the whole thing, or just the bottom. So now the top half is open, which is a bit strange in this weather, but you can hear somebody talking. And you recognize it's Miss Littlewood, and she's talking to the horses, and she's trying to calm them down, and she's calling them by their names, and she's saying, "Well, it's a storm. It'll pass." And she's engrossed in conversation with the horses.
Alice will just peek inside, basically over the upper half that is open. And will be just make sure you get back inside soon. Storm is coming.
Oh yeah, Baker, you're absolutely right. I just and she looks around. She says, "Ms. Brightwood doesn't know the first thing about horses."
Well, at least they're in good hands here. And I guess you haven't seen Irene around here. We will circle the stables to see if we find anything.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't. That's good. Is she somebody who does riding?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know her that well. I never knew her well to begin with.
The horses are all here, so
at least she's not out with a horse. That's something.
Yeah, that's indeed something.
Although the horse would have the brain to get back here before it gets really horrible.
It would. They are quite smart.
Irene knows storms around here. She should be smart enough to know that this weather is the worst to be outside.
I mean, my problem is that it seems like nobody saw her since last night. So I don't even know if she's just left recently. Have we... You know what? Could you check if she's taken out any of the skis? Maybe she went cross country. Oh. I mean, that it would have been very nice this morning.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We will do. Thanks for the hint. Alice will circle the stables nonetheless, and will check if she can find any kind of tracks on the back.
Give me a spot
somewhere just to see if there's something. That is a hard success.
Okay, well, you do find tracks. You see the tracks of two horses, probably still there from this morning, because it's only just started to snow now, and you can see that it's slowly filling up. But you also notice that it's a different type of snow. It's not the flaky one. It's actually now really compact coming down, and it's turning into little pellets. So there have been people here... boots, indistinct boots. You see one pair of tracks that is really large, so probably Price. He may have been at the stables. People have been walking around. Yeah.
Okay. And then I would turn to wherever the skis are kept.
It's like a little
shed,
hut.
Probably hut, yeah.
Shed, yeah. Shed. That's the word I was looking for. Shed.
Then I will pull Dottie forward, and I will be speedy at pace. So it's not a relaxed walking. It's really quick.
Yeah, she's good at keeping up. She's wearing
I'm not
trousers.
Worried about that. And good shoes.
Yeah.
And then I will just open and see if there are skis missing, or if it looks like everything is in place.
Okay, now give me a spot hidden again.
Let's see. No. No.
The thing is, this place is a bit messy. So yes, there are skis, but they're not like paired off like the riding boots were in the stables. It's not kept neatly. So there are 5 skis over there. Why are there 5 skis? There should be either 4 or 6. There's another one over there, but you can't really tell how many pairs there should be. So it's a bit unclear if somebody has been in here and if they have taken out any skis.
Then Alice will just count the number of skis she can see, and she will take the number within sight and hope that someone knows how many pair of skis.
You count 14 pairs.
14. So 28 single.
No, exactly. 14 pairs is 20.
Okay,
14 pairs is 28. Yeah, 14 pairs of skis equals 28.
Whoa. They should clean this up, but not now. I think we should get inside. I will just close the door, make sure it's properly locked, and that not the wind and storm is blowing it open, and then we will circle back towards the house.
Yeah, you go back to the house, and the temperature is now dropping rapidly. You would say it's probably dropped by about 5 degrees centigrade in the last 10 minutes. You also know what this means. The roads will be closed because they will be ice rinks.
Yeah.
So whoever was going to arrive tomorrow is not going to get through, and anyone who wants to leave is now stuck.
Great.
Yes.
This will be not fun, but at least Dottie's here.
Yeah, no, Dottie's here, and she's actually, I think she's fine. Let's see.
And Penny is there, to be honest. That's also
So
interesting.
with a
enough.
36, she's totally chilled. I mean, then again, nothing is really seriously happening, and of course, she is not on her own, and this is like, she's absolutely fine.
Well.
And and you get back to the house, and Ms. Brightwood is standing there, and she is talking to Melinda. Yes, and the two of them are making plans how to deploy the servants in the search, which is going to commence tomorrow at first light.
I will blankly disturb then. Just excuse me, just a second.
Miss Baker and, of course, Miss Brightwood is...
Would you...
Honey's dropping from her lips.
Would you by any chance know who keeps tracks of the number of pair of skis that should be there?
Maybe Price. I don't actually know. Maybe... it's just, why?
Alice will just turn around and will leave without saying a word. And she will...
And then you can hear Melinda say, she was always very rude.
Alice will move on. She's that close, but nevertheless, it's not that important. And she will see if she can find Price, if he already returned. So she will probably
You can
go
see a
for-
lantern moving. You can see a light in the distance. And that's probably him because he's coming from the back.
Okay, then I will wait, basically, for him to get back. And we'll try to catch him.
And he says, "Oh, you're gonna catch your death, miss. I didn't find her."
It's fine. Yeah, we didn't find her either. But do you by any chance know how many pair of skis there should be in the shed?
15.
Then at least we know how she left. There are only 14 pairs there.
You think she went skiing?
Maybe. And maybe something happened. On skis. Especially if you're maybe not well trained.
Well, I mean, all right, if she went out on the skis, and if something happened and she couldn't get back because of the weather, she might have made it to one of the huts. The first hut is about 15 miles from here. On skis, that's not going to take you very long. It's almost a day trip. We basically say it takes 1 day for the first to reach the first hut, another to reach the second, and so on. So the idea is that they're spaced out so that you can take a 5-day hike around, or ride if you like. But then, of course, when you ride, you usually make 2 huts in a day. So I mean, there is hope. I mean, the huts are in good shape, and they have there is lanterns in there, there is oil in there, and I check them myself when winter comes, and I make sure that the ones that are close to our property, the first 3, are always well stocked.
That might be a brilliant move now. Let's hope she got there, because we don't have much chance to do anything looking there. No one should leave now, because
No,
then
and
we
it's
will
also
have the
going to
second
get
person
dark
missing.
soon. Yeah. No, I agree. So tomorrow morning, I'll at first light, I'll go out on the skis and I'll check the hut.
Okay.
But now the 2 of you ladies should really get inside, because it is getting cold and I don't want you to catch your death.
You should as well, please. I hope no one else.
Well,
is outside.
I'm going. The wife's already waiting.
Then, thank you, and let's hope we find her tomorrow morning.
Of course, miss. Thank you so much. And he walks away.
Yeah, we go inside.
Okay, so Miss Stockbrook and Miss Brightwood are still immersed in conversation.
I will just walk past them, and I will see if I can find
We've got Sarah Marie.
Wait.
got.
Where's the list? There is the list of names. No, Gordon was the cook.
Gordon is the cook.
Littlewood. Miss Littlewood.
Ah, yeah, the matron.
Yeah, the nice one.
Yeah.
Strict but nice. I will look and see if I can find Miss Littlewood.
Okay, where do you want to go? I mean, you saw her at the stables earlier. You don't think that she's still there because that would be stupid.
I'll probably have a first peek in the kitchen and see if she's either there or if someone knows where she is.
Okay, so you open the door and there is a lot of hustle and bustle going on because they're getting ready for dinner. Miss Gordon, the cook, looks up and she says, "Oh, miss, what can I do for you?"
Do you by any chance know where Miss Littlewood is?
No, I haven't seen her. It's not time for dinner, so I doubt that she's in the hall.
Then I will look. Maybe she's in her quarters.
Yes, do. Yes, do. Okay, so we have three ladies' maids that will be eating in the kitchen. So we need 3 plates, and she's telling this to the hands. And then we have, Miss Irene is no longer here, so we don't have to lay a table for her. So she counts off on her fingers how many people would be at dinner in the hall.
I will just sneak out and will walk or go towards Miss Littlewood room or quarters because, well, I've been there. I know where they are.
She lives in the attic, essentially.
Yep.
So maybe this is by choice because it means nobody ever goes there. And you come to the well-known door. She has 2 rooms to herself and a private bathroom, which is a good commodity. And you knock on the door. You can smell cigar.
Let's see if she answers.
Yes.
Can I come in?
Of course, come in and close the door because it's getting really drafty. Who is it anyway? Oh, of course, it's you, Baker.
Is Dottie with me or am I alone?
Dottie is following you.
Yeah.
Miss Williams, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfectly right. Just to...
Close the door, Baker, and sit down.
I'm closing the door, sitting down, turning into this pupil again.
There is enough space so Dottie can... And she said, Miss Williams, if you wouldn't mind, just pick any chair.
Your idea with the skis were perfect. 1 pair is missing, so it seems that she took them and went outside.
She has an ashtray, and in the ashtray is a smoking cigar. She takes the cigar, she draws on it, and then she looks out the window. She has those dormer windows, which basically jut out, and then she looks at it and she says, well, let's just hope she made it to one of our huts. Otherwise, she will not survive the night.
Yeah, Mr. Price will look as soon as he can leave tomorrow morning. He will look for the huts nearby. He said they are well stocked with oil and everything you need, so let's hope she made it there.
Yeah, it's because Price shows initiative. If we left it to Miss Brightwood, nothing would ever get done.
Not surprising, but yeah.
Baker?
Sorry, Mr. Price was already in the past, but is still a very... As he said, he's looking ahead and thinking about things that could...
I always said he was completely wasted on this school. But then again, I'm glad that we have him.
I think it's the best for the school. Also, I was just curious if you knew which room Irene got, because I want to double check, because it's weird to just leave in early mornings skiing without telling anyone.
She's knitting again, and then she looks at you over her knitting. She's like, rooms are usually locked. What are you going to do about that, Baker?
Well, that is my problem to solve. I just don't know which room, and I would really highly try not to search all rooms to find the right one.
Yes. Well. And she tells you in which room she is.
Okay. Then thank you so much.
You do know about detention. I can still give this to you. If somebody finds out, I know nothing. But I'm going to lock you up in your room.
Well, at the moment, there's no way outside then, because the usual way outside is not the best way in this weather.
Miss Williams, how do you deal with her on a daily basis? I must ask. And Dottie just, she looks at you, and then she just says, years of practice.
Well, it's never getting boring with me. That is a good thing.
And Miss Littlewood looks at Dottie, and then she looks at you and she says, Baker, you got what you deserved.
The best assistant I could ever ask for.
Like I said.
Thank you so much.
But don't let Miss Brightwood catch you.
Oh,
please.
Don't worry about that. I will try to stay far away from her. Or
and stay away from Melinda.
Yeah, believe. I'm not forgetting that. I will never forget.
It took me an hour to calm down the cook. I can honestly say she's not going to poison us, but she's this close.
Thank you kindly, because I have no idea what is wrong in Melinda's head. You'd never do that to a cook. Lesson learned easily. But hey, some people don't know their way. Thank you so much. I will not disturb you longer. And enjoy your cigarette. And let's just hope and pray Irene has a safe and warm spot and we can find her tomorrow morning.
Yeah. If she needs, or if you need anything like medication when you find her, just come to me directly.
Okay. Then I will see you later at dinner.
Yes, see you then.
And I will just stand up and usher Dottie outside.
Yeah, it's quite easy because Dottie is, Dottie leaves quite, not hastily, but quickly.
Softly close the door, not to make too much noise. And then I will first go into my room, rummage through my handbag. No, probably grab my handbag, because then at least it's a bit more discreet. And we will go towards Irene's room.
Okay, well, Irene's room is easily found. And then you notice somebody you haven't seen before. It's like a willowy person, grey mouse type, who looks like all life has been drained from her. She's very pale. She's not dead. I mean, it's not an apparition. She just looks very unhealthy. No, sorry.
Good evening.
Yes, miss?
I haven't met you yet around here.
She curtsies and she says, Francis Shackleton.
Nice to meet you, Alice Baker.
I'm Miss Stockbroke's servant. Have you seen her? She's not on the list.
Oh, so Miss Stockbroke.
I just realized she doesn't have one, but of course she would.
I've seen her downstairs talking to Miss Brightwood.
Then I must make haste. It was really nice meeting you. And she storms off.
That poor girl. I whispered to Dottie.
She's never been in the kitchen to eat. I mean, she does look like she's going to starve to death any minute. That explains it. But has she been hiding her?
I didn't. Well, it doesn't surprise me that she has a servant, to be honest. She is the one that clearly needs a servant in her life. She needs to command people around. She should have a full staff with her. Oh, she's not allowed to. We only were allowed to bring one, but maybe we should make sure that poor girl gets at least a doggy bag kind of thing after dinner.
Where does she go all day? I mean, you probably haven't seen her. I certainly haven't seen her.
Maybe
that's odd.
It is. You could maybe ask later on if during dinner the people
I'll ask the cook.
I will talk to Miss Littlewood and see if she knows something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is, and as you say, she looks like she urgently needs a proper dinner. And that's me saying it. I know I'm the picky one, but at least I'm not looking half dead.
No, she really looks unhealthy.
Yeah.
For
a shock second, I thought I was standing in front of a ghost.
Yeah, also the white dress.
It's weird.
So that's the door. So, and she looks around. She's like, okay, so there is the stairs are over there. Nobody can come from here. I'm just gonna wait at the stairs to see if somebody's coming until you've opened the door.
Just whistle a tune if you see someone, and I will draw out my lockpick and try to unlock the door.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Ooh, that is a hard success.
Brilliant. Well, the door opens. You're not surprised because you used to pick those locks when you were a lot younger and a lot less experienced, so they haven't improved since then.
It's
you open
also
the door.
not high security.
It's not high security at all because, of course, the snitch needs to be able to get in. So the door opens.
Motion to Dottie.
Dottie comes and then she walks in after you.
I will close the door.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll still turn on the light, although I know it's risky because you would see the light below the door, but hey, we need to see something. It's getting dark.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you see is a room which is pretty much like the size of your room, so it's one of the smaller ones. You can see 2 suitcases.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that there is, so basically, the bedspread is there. So everything has been the bed has been made. Incidentally, nobody came to make your bed, so you didn't see any servants coming. So you made it yourself, or maybe Dottie made it, but unless you did something, nothing happened. So she did this herself, obviously. And on the desk, because of course every room has a desk that the girls can study, is sheet music, and there's also a little notebook.
I will just see if on the music sheet there is a title or anything, just to be curious, because I'm curious.
Can Alice read music?
Not very well, I suspect. She knows to listen to music quite nicely, and she knows the rough thing you learn in school, but that's to the limit.
So it says it's titled New Year's in New York. You've never heard this title before.
Any kind of from whom it is? Any kind of hint?
But it's handwritten. It's not printed.
Okay. Well, she's at least creating music, as it might seem. Let's see. And then I will grab the notebook and see if there are any.
Okay, give me a spot hidden.
Okay. That is a success.
Okay. You look through it and it's got names, it's got addresses, it's also got like this, so it's basically two-parter. It's a two-parter. So you've got like the stuff where you basically just add stuff, and then there's a calendar part, a calendar section, and it's like let's say 3 days to a page or 4 days to a page, and you can see that on today's date, yesterday, the day before, basically she marked this as coming here. You also notice it's not a secret compartment, but it's bound in leather, so you can take out the calendar if you don't need it anymore. And there is also like where you can maybe tuck in calling cards and stuff, and you can see that there is something stuck in there.
I will pull it out.
Okay, what you see is you see a photograph of 2 women. And it's I don't know if you remember this, but in the very old days, sometimes photographs had like, they were on paper, and underneath there was kind of like a white strip that people would write stuff on.
Yep.
And it says, so it's two women and they're sitting on a kind of sofa in a nondescript but, nicely furnished room. You don't know if this is a hotel or something. They are both holding a glass of what looks like champagne, and it says, New Year's Eve, New York, 1928. May there be many more. Love, Sybil. And one of the women in the photo is Irene.
I guess the other one is Sybil. Alice will mutter to herself, and she will show the picture to Dottie as well.
And Dottie looks at the picture, and she looks at it for a good while. And then she says, but wasn't Sybil the name she gave for...
Yes.
Who? Sybil isn't her servant.
No.
She hands you the picture.
Also pointing to the song. That's kind of related, I guess.
It is, isn't it?
Seems poor Irene is heartbroken. That is at least so far my impression. Let's just hope there's... Well, we will find out maybe why, maybe not. Alice will put the picture back exactly where she found it. She will close the notebook, put it back, and will also make sure that the notes are back where they belong. She will just have a brief look in the suitcase just to see if it looks like everything is still there, or if they're empty, that she grabbed something and left.
The suitcases are indeed empty, but when you open the wardrobe, everything has been neatly put up. Now, looking at what she's got, the clothes are serviceable. They are definitely not what you would consider even in the slightest fashionable. They are medium conservative. Okay. They're not. This is not Miss Melinda's wardrobe, but it's definitely not yours either. Okay, nobody has a wardrobe like you except maybe Pamela. It's...
Though Penny might have a few things that I have
Penny,
as well, to be honest.
Of course. Yeah, Penny. I forgot about Penny. But the clothes do look like they are a little bit older. Okay. So in terms of they have been worn quite a lot.
But well kept.
Well kept. But the emphasis is on kept. So she has somebody who does seamstress work here, and not just altering but also mending.
I would look, do I see a winter coat or anything? Because if you go there for a weekend, you will not have several coats with you. You probably just have one because it's taking a lot of space.
No, you don't see a winter coat.
Okay. So at least it seems she was sensible enough to wear proper clothing when going outside skiing. Okay, I think that's it. I will look under the bed, nevertheless, because I'm paranoid enough.
You find 2 sets of shoes.
Okay. And I will also lift the mattress to see if there's anything under it.
What's your luck?
Horrible.
18 or something.
16.
There isn't.
Okay.
I rolled a 23.
Oh, close enough.
Close, yes. And then I would have had to make up what's underneath the bed.
Something from a pupil. Or a student. Yeah, I will carefully open the door a little bit. Or probably before opening it, I will just listen if I hear anyone outside.
Yeah, you don't have to give me a listen roll. You wait a little bit and you hear nothing. And you know that you would hear people because the floor is stone.
Yeah. Then I will carefully just open it a bit, still double check and see, because Melinda is sneaky. And when I see no one, I will just open the door, let Dottie outside, close the door, and we'll try to lock the door again.
Yeah. I suppose that lockpicks can be used to lock doors too. I mean, I don't
so.
first think about it, but yeah. So yeah, you lock the door. Yes, and so Dottie looks at you and she says, "What do we do now?"
I would like to see the music room again and see if we have anything there.
Okay, let's go.
Also looking at the clock, keeping in mind that dinner might come ahead. How much time do we have left for dinner?
Half an hour before dinner.
Okay, let's have a quick look and then go for dinner. I don't feel like dressing up for dinner, to be honest.
I'm gonna eat in the kitchen anyway, and I don't think Miss Gordon really minds.
Then let's go. And we go down to the music room where we saw Irene the last time, before dinner.
Yeah, so the music room is as you remember it. There is nothing out of the ordinary. The chairs that you would have been sitting in are still in the same position. It doesn't look like anyone has been here and done anything that a musician wouldn't do. I mean, if somebody's played the piano in the meantime, you wouldn't notice. But there is no sheet music, there is nothing.
That will not help us. I feel a bit useless. We can't do anything with the storm outside.
But we can do something tomorrow. I mean, surely the storm must subside at some point.
Yeah, tomorrow with sunrise, I want to be up and grab a horse, or we both grab a horse and make our way. Maybe we can split up the huts between Mr. Price and us. He can't do all three at the same time.
I will wake you bright and early.
Okay.
Shall I pack breakfast?
No, we can eat breakfast afterwards. Or before, if you like. You can try. I will just...
When you say that you would go on a horse and then ride into the countryside on an empty stomach, she's kind of gulping already. But if you're then asking her to do the same thing, there's this big no.
Feel free, obviously, to have breakfast beforehand.
I will see what I can do.
And then I guess let's grab dinner and let's meet up maybe here afterwards.
In the music room?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll see you then.
I will see if anyone else found anything out.
Okay, so the two of you go downstairs. She nods to you and she goes into the kitchen. And she knocks on the door. And she opens it, and then of course you can hear Miss Gordon say, "Oh yes, there you are, dear. Sit down. Dinner will be ready in 5 minutes." And you can hear Dottie kind of like protesting and saying that she can get her own and she's fine and she can lay the table, but apparently Gordon isn't really listening. You walk into the Great Hall, and of course all of the teachers are there, and Melinda is there. You see now that Melinda is actually sitting at the very head of the table, right? So basically the teachers are sitting like this, and then you have your tables, but she now sits very close to the teachers. Sarah Marie is there, and as is Penny. And Penny's like, "Alice, where have you been?"
Looking for Irene.
And did you find her? Because nobody else seems to have found her.
A pair of skis are missing. I guess she went outside and she's somewhere out there.
Sarah Marie doesn't take that too well.
The good thing is there are 3 well-prepared huts nearby, and she should know the weather. We all learned it probably the hard way, that the storms are awful out here. I hope she's just hiding in a hut and we will see her tomorrow morning.
So you're hoping that she's coming back tomorrow morning?
Well, we will probably... No, there will be search party out for the huts and see if she's there.
Penny looks at you and says, "Don't tell me you're going to be part of that party,
Well,
Baker."
I'm not sitting around here if there's help needed out there. I will not ski. I will take a horse. That sounds more sensible.
You and the horses. And she basically massages her temples.
Well, Alice will just lift her cane. Skiing is out of scope for me at the moment, so horse it has to be.
Yeah, you were going to tell me how that happened after dinner yesterday, but then we never got to it. Sarah Marie, can you pass me the green beans, please? And Sarah Marie passes the food, and then Penny helps herself, and then she offers it to you. You need to eat your greens, dear.
I will take some greens.
And
no, I'm polite. Then, I will take a little bit of everything, but the mentioning is a little bit of everything.
Well, Penny isn't flustered at all because she didn't cook this. This is not her food. She doesn't care at all if you eat or not. She knows that you're a difficult customer.
And I will just keep probably the teachers a little bit. I will just have a look and see how relaxed or not relaxed they are looking. And maybe trying to catch a drift of what they're talking about.
Mademoiselle Martin, if anything, looks even gaunter than she did the day before.
Oh, wow.
But then again, you don't know what was in the bottle that was given her, so maybe it was laudanum or something, and maybe she's, it doesn't go down well with her. You notice that she doesn't eat at all. She plays with her food. She moves it from one side of the plate to another side of the plate and then back again, and blah, blah, blah. Miss Brightwood is making conversation with everyone else. Miss Littlewood is every so often glancing towards. She's sitting next to Miss Martin, and she's every so often looking at her and saying a couple of words, and then Miss Martin replies, apparently or obviously, but you have a feeling that Miss Littlewood is really concerned about her.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that she's still elevating her leg, and yeah, and when she moves, it's just not, it's not round movement, as it were. It's kind of strained. Yeah, and interestingly enough, what you can catch of the conversation that Miss Littlewood is having, Brightwood is having with everybody is, she's basically talking about how the ball may have to, or the gala dinner will probably have to be called off because in this weather there's an ice storm, nobody will be able to travel. And how sad that would be, and and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And for Melinda, it's a very quiet affair because it seems like all of the ex-pupils have clustered around you for some reason. Well, there's only the three of you now, but Sarah Marie is sitting next to Penny, and you're sitting across from them. So, yeah,
that is not too surprising.
Once a snitch, always a snitch.
Mm-hmm. And, well, Alice will just probably ask Penny if she wants to meet up after dinner in the music room.
Sure, why not? You're not gonna play, are you? Because you were terrible at music.
Maybe I improved.
Give me strength.
Yeah.
Sarah Marie was unfortunately just sipping water when she hears this, and she had to laugh, and it didn't go down well. And she says, "You were always like this at school. Nothing has really changed, has it?"
Well, we've grown. I think we all learned a bit about life, much more than we did here.
Well, yeah. And she, and so the evening passes, and unless you want to do anything outrageous during dinner?
No, during dinner, Alice will just listen. She will be quiet, unusual quiet probably, because she's more looking around, and she's also still trying to find the little things missing in the picture about Irene, because she still can't really pinpoint if she really just... It feels wrong that she just went out there early in the morning skiing and never showed up again. So, and also Alice has the blood trail in mind. If someone is out there and skis and had an accident, whatever left that blood trail might be a danger. So she's worried, but that is something she will keep to herself. She will not share that with the others. Okay. Sarah Marie was worried enough.
Yeah, Sarah Marie is kind of like more the homely type at this stage, 2 kids and, and she kind of like, oh my. Penny, you get the feeling, is kind of, the jury's out about what's happened, but she also realizes that this could be really bad. But she doesn't know, so there is no reason to, or she can't really do anything. So she's always been, you would say, quite pragmatic. So if you can't do anything now, what are you going to do? You can panic, but that doesn't help anyone, especially not Irene.
Very true, very true. And, after dinner, Alice, as soon as it's appropriate, she will excuse herself and will go for the music room. Penny can either join her or join later.
Penny says, are you going now?
I would, yes.
Okay, well then I'll go with you.
Okay.
Where's Dottie?
Well, obviously in the kitchen where the servants have to eat.
Alexandra has decided she's going to have her food in her room as of now. She's not going to go down to the kitchen anymore, and she was this close to actually joining us tonight, but I was like, Alexandra, a little less drama today, because with Irene missing, everybody's on edge.
I think honestly Dottie feels quite comfortable there. Also, she gets along well with Miss Gordon, as it seems, and Dottie is one of the best cooks on earth, I would say. So I think that's something also she can learn stuff.
Don't tell this to Miss Brightwood. She might want to hire her.
Well, no chance on that.
For the right offer?
No chance on that.
Okay.
And
if you say so, Baker.
Also in the kitchen you learn stuff that we will not learn because we are stuck here.
Oh, you've turned her into an agent.
I don't have to turn her. She's clever enough to think of her own.
Yes. Then do let's go. And she hooks her arm into your arm, and you basically go to the music room where Dottie is already sitting.
Okay.
And she gets up when you come in and she says, "Oh,
I just invited Penny. I don't think we have to have
Miss Penny. Hello.
Secrets from her. Well, did you find out anything about Melinda's servant? I didn't have a chance to talk to Miss Littlewood because Melinda was always nearby.
Yes, the elusive Frances. She wasn't there either. So it turns out that, yes, she is indeed Ms. Stockbrook's servant. She eats in her room.
Okay.
She's been asked not to join the other servants, apparently. Miss Gordon is livid, but then again, I don't think she blames Frances at all.
Well, with Melinda as master? Poor girl.
And Penny looks from one of you to the other, and she's like, who's Frances? Who are you talking about?
Well, we met Melinda's servant. She has a servant here. She's just hiding her because that poor girl looks like she's half dead. Didn't get enough food, and that coming from me means a lot.
Isn't that typical?
Yes.
Isn't that typical?
It is. Because Alexandra decides on her own that's totally fine that she stays in her room. You are not commanding her to stay in the room.
I couldn't care less.
Also, I doubt she would care.
It's quite difficult to get her to do things that she is not really convinced to do.
I know that feeling. Just giving a smile to Dottie. And it's just like it should be. Honestly, it would be really boring just to have someone just following around like a dog without thinking themselves.
Well, that's exactly what she wants, though, isn't it?
Well, Melinda would never accept someone like Dottie or Alexandra next to her.
It would be so interesting, though, wouldn't it?
I think Alexandra and Dottie would have fun making Melinda's life hell.
And I think the two of them wouldn't even have to try very hard.
No.
No.
But hey, Melinda is getting closer and closer to... Maybe she wants to be a teacher? Just in secret? I got the feeling
Oh my
today.
God, can you just imagine the poor children?
Oh God, and she would be next in line to steal Miss Brightwood's place, because I'm quite sure that is the place she actually wants to be.
This would turn this place into a living hell.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure she would take down the wisteria tree because she knows what we were up to. She knows.
Well, I
There
think
is no way she doesn't.
they need to get through Miss Littlewood first.
So, Baker, we're a dreary lot. So now is a good time to tell me all about your leg.
Well, it was a bit of an accident on a case. I got shot.
That's a good joke. Now, what really happened?
I got shot on a job.
Baker, this isn't funny.
Well, it's the blank truth. You have a scary life as a private investigator sometimes.
And she looks at Dottie. And where were you when this whole thing happened? And Dottie's like,
She was saving my life, together with a policeman, so don't be angry at her. She did the best she could, that's why I'm still standing here.
aren't you lucky?
Yes.
Baker, I completely approve of your way of life, but do take care, because that sounds really dangerous.
It was... We did not suspect something like that happening. And let's hope it never happens again.
What was it, the mafia?
No.
Liquor smugglers?
No.
No.
Well, blankly a murderer, to be honest. But hey, we got rid of her.
Okay, so since you're going on this manhunt tomorrow after Irene, may I suggest that you do not get shot?
We're just looking for someone that went missing. That's completely different. There shouldn't be any guns involved out there.
She looks at Dottie. Is she carrying by any chance? And Dottie's like, not at the moment.
I have my handbag with me, yes.
Yeah, but Dottie, I don't know. Let's see if Dottie actually knows.
If I had my
With a
handbag
89,
with me,
does she know that you have it? No, with an 89, she's not aware that you're carrying at the moment. So she's well within, the bounds of the Catholic Church, saying no, not at the moment.
well, Alice will just open her cane a little bit. I have the weapon that I need in case something happens, and we'll close the cane again.
Well, she was asking about a gun, and I was right, and she's not carrying a gun. And she basically says this with true conviction.
Mm-hmm. And Alice is like, just leaving it like it is. The only thing I'm a bit worried is the blood trail we've seen. Whatever caused that, I hope it didn't get to Irene.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this too, but then again, this is Maine. There are bears, there are wolves, and it's cold. So this is. I mean, all jokes aside, I am worried about Irene because she was never ever a sporty person. I don't understand why she took out the skis in the first place. Why she left without telling anyone.
That's the thing. I get to skis and getting out there because it seems like she has troubles behind her. Something happened. She's not looking too happy. So getting out, fresh air outside, I get that. But Why didn't she tell anyone? Because then we would have looked for her already around lunch, probably. But
It's probably because she doesn't know anyone very well.
Well, I thought at least yesterday we were nice enough to her that she might have said
Maybe
something.
she didn't want to bother anyone. There are people who don't share and who basically try to stay in the background.
I know. Let's just hope we can find her tomorrow morning and she's just curled up in one of the huts, maybe with a broken ankle or a hurt ankle, best case, and she was just not able to get back in time and decided to hide in a hut before the storm came.
And you can actually hear the storm howling, and you have been hearing it all evening. It's tearing around the house.
Let's just hope it's gone tomorrow morning.
You got shot, Baker.
And I'm making the best out of it.
When I tell this to my husband, he will definitely want to meet you.
Well, if he has a job for a private investigator, I'm the one to take.
I'll be sure to pass this on. Do you also do wet jobs? Because he's talking about some of his competitors that he would like to see 6 feet under.
No,
I'm joking. He's not talking like that.
Even though
I got you there.
You got me there. Well, it started with just finding things that went missing. And then
we all have our little excuses, don't we?
I'm always curious. It's the perfect match for me.
Yes, it is. And it's so unconventional, Alice, that it is right up your alley. I'm just happy for you. Because I think you have really found something that you love doing. And it is so fitting.
Well, it's nice to help people, I have to admit.
It's good to be a giver. But at the same time,
I have a lot of
your
fun.
mother must be so worried, sick every single day.
I'm trying not to think about that. My father is... I think it's a mix between being worried and proud at the same time.
Did you tell your mother you got shot?
No. I'm not insane.
She looks at Dottie in total exasperation. And Dottie's like, I know.
She see me walking on a cane. That's all she needs. That was an accident. Full stop. I have my own life. I'm not a child anymore. She doesn't have to know everything. Do you tell your mother everything that happens in your life?
Oh my God. It's difficult enough to explain that my husband lives in Texas with a housemaid called Sabine, and I live in Arlington, Virginia.
I can imagine that causing a lot of trouble for at least...
I have explained to her that the sun just gets to my head and it does nothing for my complexion. As soon as I mentioned my skin, she was fine with it.
Okay.
And she does have immaculately white skin. You know, she is very, very well preserved.
Well, most important, also you seem to have found the best way of life to live.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, to tell you the truth, yes, I love my husband, and yes, he loves me, but it just... seeing him every day and him seeing me every day, we just live in different worlds. But I can tell you, it works out. I wouldn't divorce him.
That's the most important part. Everyone is happy with it that is involved in this. That is the main point. You will always
don't
find
seem
people
shocked.
that don't accept. Why should I be shocked?
I'm glad, because I didn't know what you would say.
Most important is you are happy with this, you are fine with this situation, then I am totally fine with it as well. Everyone should live the life as it works for them. As long as no one gets hurt.
Honestly, I don't think that this is what you were taught or I was taught at this school.
Thank goodness those are the things I never really listened to. It is
Yeah.
boring to live a life like that, and it's so restrictive.
I'm this close to telling Melinda just to see this look on her face.
Should we add then that I'm working as a private investigator? I could pull the card out tomorrow. That's why I need to go and search for her, because that's my job.
How about you whip out your card and I just come clean about Bob and myself?
She will probably faint.
Yeah. So? And that's the penny that, I mean, like, there is this really malicious glint in her eyes.
That might be fun, but maybe we should do that after we find Irene. First
Good
of all,
idea.
save the girl, then having fun afterwards, because it will make much more fun.
It's like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Save the girl, save the day.
See? And then the bad person gets a slap on the wrist.
I love it. But I'll have to check on Alexandra to see what she's up to, because I haven't seen her all day and I'm just,
Yeah, just go. I think there's nothing much to do today, I guess. Early bedtime makes sense that we can get up early in the morning. I don't know if you want to join for the search.
Oh. And see my nails? No.
Then enjoy breakfast tomorrow morning and I will see you afterwards.
Yeah, and I will enjoy breakfast because I do eat it, because it's... And she looks at Dottie and Dottie looks at her and she's like... And the two of them in unison go, it's the most important meal of the day.
For some people.
And she says toodles and leaves the room.
Just wave and well, I think we can't do much today, so I would guess early night.
Yes, early night. And I've organized tomorrow morning. I'm going to have breakfast. I'm going to wake you in time so that we make it at first light. And I've secured food packages.
I don't know what I would do without you. Starving to death, probably, most likely.
Yeah.
Also sleeping through the day and not standing up in time.
That too.
So I'm glad to have you around.
So let's
go upstairs,
retire,
read a few lines in the book, and let's see if we can get any sleep with the storm, because I'm not used to this anymore. It's actually quite loud.
Yeah, it is quite loud. And of course, I don't know about... I doubt that it gets that stormy in New York City because of all of the houses. I don't think it would ever be as
not
bad.
Like that. I think you have wind quite a bit, but also in combination with really strong storm and snow or hail even, it's a very old house as well, which makes it probably even more drafty and windy and spooky. So.
Okay, so Dottie retires to her room.
I will go to my room. I will just read a few lines and then try to get sleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's see how you sleep. Let's see how Dottie sleeps. It's a luck roll. 38, she sleeps okay. Make a luck roll.
That's not too bad. I rolled a 25, but it's still not enough.
Okay, so we'll make a note of this because it means that you're a bit tired. So because you're going to exert yourself today, I'll give you -10. Okay, cool. So I would say probably around 40 minutes before first light, there's this time a light knock at the door. Miss Alice.
I'm awake. I will be there in a few minutes.
Take your time. You've got about half an hour.
Perfect. Enjoy the food.
Will do. And she walks away. She didn't even open the door more than like this.
She knows Alice by now. It's important to get up. It's not a usual day where it's not important if you stay in bed a bit longer. Alice will immediately get up and will make herself ready and will probably be out quicker than half an hour.
When you open the door, do you just walk out or do you take a look?
I will just walk out.
Okay. You just stepped into a cup of coffee. She should have said something. She didn't.
I should have thought. She always would take care of me, but I didn't think of it, so I will go inside, probably grab like a tissue or something like that, and just wipe.
It's fine because it's stone floor, so
it's stone floor.
very easy
Just
to
wipe
clear
it,
up, yeah.
and we'll take the cup and we'll just clean up the mess a bit and put the cup. No, probably take it, and I will go downstairs to the kitchen, and we'll just knock on the door of the kitchen.
Come in, it's open.
We'll just open the door, step inside. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, dear.
Just having... just to bring it back.
Oh, did you like it?
It was lovely. Thank you.
And Alice is just finishing breakfast now, and she says, and thank you very much for the food packages, Miss Gordon. They will come in handy. And thank you for the thermos flask. And she has a thermos flask full of some hot beverage.
Thank you so much.
And she's basically put it into a bag, which is kind of like a messenger bag. So it's good for riding because a hamper wouldn't be so handy on a horse. And she's wearing trousers, and she's wearing her boots, and she seems to have grown to liking them, actually. She seems to be quite comfortable in them now.
That is good.
Yeah. So she sees what you see in them.
Also, I suspect, did the storm, that would be the first thing in the morning when you wake up, it has ceased, because if it's still howling.
But what you did notice as you were dressing, because you would have checked, is that all of the windows are frozen over, so you can see all of those
so we have
ice flowers on it. So it's definitely been an ice storm, and the temperature, as soon as you step out, it's freezing. It's definitely minus 10 degrees Celsius.
Well, let's hope we can go with the horses at all.
You go to the stables?
Yeah, I will try to keep an eye open if I can see one of the prices around, just to see, because I'm not leaving without informing, although at least...
You are seeing someone. You see Mrs. Price.
Okay, I will just wave to her. Good morning.
Oh, miss, my husband's already left. Were you looking for him? I'm afraid he's already gone.
No, do you by any chance know with which hut he will start? Because we will try to see if the horses can go for the next ones, because it's a lot to cover for him alone.
Oh, I suppose that he would just basically take them in turn. So, it's. I mean, if you take horses, then you will probably catch up with him, because he's taking skis. He can't ride, and also he's not allowed. Well, not anymore to take out any of the horses.
Brightwood, thank you so much.
And when you say the name, she basically just looks away.
And greetings to your lovely little daughter.
Oh, Catherine, yes, she's she mentioned that she met you.
She's a smart one.
Oh, she loves reading. Yes, she loves reading.
Always good.
Right, always stories. I don't know what's going to become of her.
She will make a good way, I'm sure of that. Clever girls always do.
She smiles.
And then we will go for the stables. Also on the way, Alice would see and test how how bad the ice is, because if it's really icy, the horses will have probably trouble.
Yeah, you do notice that it has frozen, so you would say that the horses will not be able to go very fast, but you could imagine that actually skiing is going to be even harder. Because there is no purchase, he's just gonna... as you go to the stables, you also see that there are no traces of footprints leading up to the shed where the skis are kept, but somebody just went straight through the gate. So maybe he abandoned his plans of taking skis when he saw the ground.
Okay, then I would guess let's grab 2 horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably the same we already rode yesterday, because we at least know how they behave. We'll just make sure that every horse, that they are okay, and
Yeah, the horses are fine. Somebody has fed them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good to go. So you saddle them, it takes about half an hour or so,
Yeah.
and then you're good to go. You ride out, you do the same thing. You get off the horse, open the gates, you ride through, or you lead the horse through, close the gate, get up, and then you move towards the trail, and you can see that there are footprints. And one set only, and it's definitely big shoes. So probably this is Price.
Yeah, we
can't be anybody else.
follow the prints.
Yeah. Okay,
let's see if we can grab him. If he knows how to ride, let's give him a horse. We can switch back afterwards, but he might be quicker with a horse, and we can share one horse together.
Okay, you're saying this to Dottie?
Yeah, just that she knows what my mind is.
Okay. So you ride, and the first time you went for your walk, you didn't get to the huts, so you stopped at the bench. So the huts are about, what did I say, 18 miles?
Yeah.
So this is going to take you a while. Now the actual environment is actually very pretty, because there is again a mist over the lakes, and you can hear the birds singing.
And with the ice, everything is sparkling.
And it's also, aside from the normal noises, it's very quiet, and it's white, and it's crystalline, and it's beautiful. And if this wasn't your mission, you would actually be enjoying this a lot more. You keep your eyes open, and you can just make 2 spot hiddens, and Dottie will do as well. 27, yeah, that's a good one.
Do you have any minus on spot hidden because of being tired?
No, because that's not a physical one. If we do physical stuff, you will get a minus 10.
Oh, that was 2 fail. 1 success, 1 fail, and my luck is down 2 more points.
Okay, so she has 2 hard successes. Okay. So you don't see any other traces. You see the traces of Mr. Price. You see those clearly. But other than that, there is nothing that you two notice. Okay. And so I would say after about 18 miles, I would say it takes you easily 2.5 hours.
Yeah, because we can't go too quick.
Yeah. You're quicker than you would be on foot. But not that much. Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours maybe. It's cold, and you see the hut.
Okay. His traces lead towards the hut.
The traces lead toward the hut.
Okay.
And so I suppose, do you dismount? What do you do?
Yeah, when we get close, we dismount. We make sure the horses are bound up, that they are not running away. There is if there's a rail, or if we just get a tree where we can just
there is a rail that is actually made for this, and there's also a trough.
Okay. We'll just scruff the horse between the ears. Be right back, and we'll just call out Mr. Price.
Dottie pulls out 2 apples and hands them to the horses.
Bless her heart.
You hear nothing. No reply.
I will look for for his footprints and see if he went.
They lead to the door.
The door. Do I see footprints coming out, just standing in front?
No.
Anything coming back out?
No.
That is weird, Dottie.
That means he's still in the hut. Why would he still be in the... Maybe she's in there and he's just basically helping her or something.
But
let's just go inside.
He called for them. They did not react.
That is true.
Just maybe stay a bit back. I will just carefully open the door and see. Oh, I will. Right. She will not even open. She will... The hut probably has a window, doesn't it?
Yes.
She will go towards the window and try to look inside if possible.
Okay, you look through the window.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to roll. It's bright enough that you can see.
Okay.
The hut is in total disarray. There is, what you can see is that there seem to be kind of like 2 or 3 bedsteads, very simple affairs, like just 4 planks, blah blah, and then the obligatory straw mat, because this is cheap. It has to keep it, and it's and usually when people come here, they would bring their own overnight gear, and this is basically just if somebody were to get lost or something, that they have something to sleep on. The mats have been torn open. There is straw everywhere, and there is one of those kerosene lamps that's fallen over. It's been knocked over, and also the table has been knocked over, but you can't see anyone.
Alice will just make this to Dottie.
Dottie nods.
And she will try to listen. Do I hear anything? Any movement? Anything?
Give me a listen roll.
That is a hard success.
You do hear something, but it's not coming from the hut. It's coming from the woods behind you. So basically, you are on a trail which skirts the lake on the one side, so it's to its left, and on the right is the tree line of the completely black forest. The hut is here, and as you're looking through the window, you hear the noise from here. It's basically behind you.
Mm-hmm. I will turn around and look in that direction.
And now you have to give me a spot hidden, and it has to be really good.
Can I sign to Dottie the direction that she takes a look as well?
Sure you can. Yes, you can. Oh, I think she actually missed that one.
I have a hard success. I will use more luck, because why not? I have enough.
She failed her spot hidden. I think this is the first time that ever.
It's so much.
So you've got a hard success. Okay. You think you see something. You think you see movement, but you can't be sure. It could also be the wind. You see movement at about 4 meters in the branches, but it could be the wind, because there's no storm anymore, but there is a wind blowing.
Dottie, I will just circle the hut quickly, just to make sure that no one left from maybe somewhere around the back. Just keep an eye open and ear. And Alice will circle the hut with cane in her hand steadily, and also she took her gun with her. So.
Okay, so you look at the ground, I presume, as you're walking as well. So you take it all in, and there are no footprints or any other prints behind the hut.
Okay.
The hut is a good, I would say, maybe 3-4 meters away from the shoreline. It's compact snow there as well. But you do think that if somebody had walked here, you would at least see some indentations. Okay. There is nothing.
Then I will circle back and join Dottie again. And we'll open the door with just quick motion.
Okay. Do you step inside or do you look first?
She opens the door and looks first. She's skeptical of what she's seeing. She will scan the room from left to just clockwise, just go around and just try to see if she can see a person, if she can see skis.
Okay, you can't see a person. You cannot see skis. You believe that if there was a person, they would be visible, simply because this is just, I don't know, maybe 3x4 meters room.
Yeah.
It's not big. There are 3 bedsteads which have been turned over. Nobody can lie beneath them because they're just basically those slates. And since somebody has taken away, or torn away, I should say, the bedspread, the mattresses, you see the floor underneath. So no human being, even a child, could be hiding here. Maybe a child would be able to basic, because the table is kind of like resting on its side. So if a child was to sit right behind the desktop and not move, you would probably not be able to see it from where you stand. But as soon as you take a step, or as soon as you do this and kind of like look around the table, the desktop as it were, you would see somebody sitting there, and you can't see anyone.
Dottie, just stay in the door, just to be sure that nothing sneaks up on us.
She turns around and looks at the woods.
And I will step inside and make a closer inspection. I will look if I can see, well, any kind of sign of blood, to be honest, after this, because it's still weird that Mr. Price seems to have gone inside here, but we are not seeing anything leading out.
Okay. So what you see is you look at everything.
Yeah.
So you look at the floor as well, and you see that there is dust on the floor. You see that there are footprints in the dust. Those are Mr. Price's. And then you see something else, which is, to be honest, it's just weird. It looks like if somebody stood on stilts, but if those stilts were really wide, let's say a diameter of 20 centimeters, so not like the normal stilts, which are maybe like this or maybe like this, it's big. It's kind of roundish. It's almost like a paw, although it doesn't have any. You know how paws have those paw pads?
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's more like it's a mass that somebody just pressed down. It's amorphous. But it does look like someone or something walked around. It does look like tracks of something, and you see two. So whatever was making them was bipedal.
Okay. No signs of like female footprints.
Nope.
I will also look up and have a look really completely around. At the moment, I'm quite focused on here because that's the usual thing, but I will now scan everything because
Please
he needs to be somewhere.
Spot hidden roll.
I'm not sure I want to find out. Oh, that is not a hard success.
You don't see anything.
Okay. I will call out again loudly, Mr. Price, and we'll just immediately just try to listen if I get any kind of sign back.
Close your eyes, you listen, you hear nothing. You hear your own breathing.
I also find no blood, right?
You haven't seen
any blood. What on earth happened here, and where did he go?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah, I'm saying that out loud towards halfway towards Dottie.
So no one's in there?
No.
No trace?
Well, footprints. He has been inside here with something weird.
But he never left. I mean, there are no footprints leading out or away.
I also see no footprints from a woman like Irene, so I'm not sure if she was even here. But nevertheless, Irene aside, where is Mr. Price?
Do you turn towards the door?
Yeah, I will turn around now and just look at her because...
Okay, so as you turn, you see the inside above the door. And you can't be sure, but as you go closer, because there's something weird, it looks like someone or something stuck 10 claws into the door frame, into the wall above the door.
So we just have the holes of like...
And as you look around and look back a little more, it looks like maybe something was hanging on the ceiling.
Great.
There's nothing hanging there now.
Dottie, we have a problem. I will
And
just
that
motion her to step next to me and we'll just show her the same thing. I've never seen something like that.
I don't know anything about wildlife, but I doubt that this was made by a wolf or a bear. Bears can climb,
But not like that.
but not like that, I agree.
Also, I found prints and I will show her like the round prints that are on the floor, just a few of them. That looks weird as well.
I mean, that could be a bear from its size, but...
It's not a bear paw, you would see.
No, it isn't.
We need to keep
But
our eyes open.
do you think that the size of the paw print is indicative of the size of the thing?
Yes.
Then this is a big thing.
Well, that, turning to the door again, was a big thing.
Because the hut is actually quite tall, so it's about 4 meters high, and the door may be 190. So whatever was hanging there was actually hanging quite a ways up. So you think something jumped him?
And they thought maybe, I'm not sure.
But I mean, what is that thing?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, you spent 10 years of your life here?
I still have no... I've never seen something that, believe me. I would remember that. I've never seen anything dangerous. We knew that wolves and bears are out here, but I've never really seen one. The only thing we see are butterflies, rabbits, mouse maybe.
Mouse. She looks at you.
But
you just check
usual
something?
wildlife. Maybe a fox?
Helps if you can read your own handwriting.
Might help.
No. Can you give me a roll and just tell me what you rolled, please?
Okay.
No minuses.
Understanding my own dice. I rolled a 0.
Yes.
I
And a
rolled
1.
2 zeros, which means
rolled 100.
Then it's a 10 because I have a 10 on the dice. That would be 100. I rolled a 10. Yeah.
You
I
you
rolled
rolled a 10.
I rolled a 10.
What
It's
is
just
your
staring
listen-
at
Yeah,
three
no.
zeros. It's like what?
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. So, what was I going to say? Sorry, yeah, what is your listen score?
So I need to roll listen.
So if you have a 10, and what is your listen score?
46.
That's not a hard success. It's not a critical success, though.
No,
is
it's
it?
one
No.
1 over critical.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, you hear nothing.
Let's go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep a close eye on horses, because if this is a dangerous thing, the horses should react and should maybe warn us because they should get scared.
That is a very good point. Let me see how the horses
So
are
Alice
doing.
will step outside now and will look towards the horses.
No, not even she is this lucky. Okay. Is there anything like knowledge world, knowledge nature, something like that?
There is
Natural.
natural world.
Do you have anything in that? Because 10% base chance won't do anything for you here.
I have just a 10%.
Okay. Okay.
Or
So-
survival, which I also just have the base of 10%, which is something Alice should work on.
But you can roll on survival, and so will Dottie.
Let's give it a chance.
28, no.
No, I rolled a 75.
Yeah, you have no idea if the horses are... Well, you can tell that the horses aren't really nervous in terms of they're not stomping, they're not,
Yeah,
you know,
so
not
if
like they were in
they're
the storm.
extreme,
Yeah.
Or if
no.
a bear would stand right in front of them,
They would
behave
probably
differently.
react, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Alice,
what do you do?
Alice will pull out her pistol and put it into her like girdle of English.
Belt.
Belt, thank you so much. My brain was just like, how is it called? Into a belt that she can easily grab it if needed.
Mm-hmm.
Also visible to Dottie that she sees that thing is there. And she will step outside, she will walk towards her horse, will unbind it, but then will get up the horse and will have another scan of the surrounding before moving.
Okay, so you're now sitting higher up.
Yes.
Please give me a spot hit.
I'll switch dice now because these dice, this is, let's see. That is a hard success. I'm not
Okay,
getting
but
better
now
than
you're
a hard
kind of like
success.
sitting a little bit higher up, so I'm going to give you this one. You notice that about 3 to 4 meters up in the woods, the trees just across from the hut, branches have been broken off. And they're still dangling. And it looks like something big
Went through.
But it wasn't the wind, because it's really just like cut out, if you will. And above it, all of the branches are fine, and below it as well.
As soon as Dottie is on her horse as well, I will point it out to her. It went that direction.
It flew.
Or it jumped quite a lot. Or it can climb well.
She gets off the horse, which you know is terrible for her, because getting up is so terrible. And she bends over and she looks at the ground, and she slowly walks across the trail to the trees. And she says, there isn't a single trace here. So if this jumped from over there, and she points at the door of the hut, to up there, that's about 10 meters. What is that thing?
I don't know. But also in that size, I've never seen something flying.
This isn't a ghost, is it?
I think
Tell me
a
this
ghost would
isn't a
be
ghost.
nice. I've never seen a ghost with claw marks and leaving spots like that. That is nothing reoccurred yet. I think it's worse.
No, it's...
Honestly, the whole time I grew up here, nothing like this happened. There were always ghost stories in this old mansion, but honestly, it's an old house. Obviously, you have stories. But we've never seen anything or anything ever happened. At least not to my knowledge or that I remember. Alice would try to think hard if she heard any stories about students gone missing or like the childish warnings of evil things in the woods that we should be careful about.
Okay.
Just trying to think if she heard anything that she just put away because it's
Then
not necessary.
make an idea roll.
Because maybe we got warned as students there to not, like the black man or like, I don't know, all the fun stories.
If you don't eat your greens, you're gonna end up in the lake.
It's a weak idea roll, but I managed it just barely.
Okay, so you don't remember stories like this, but what you do remember is that there is a collection of local fairy tales and folklore in the library, in the school, which also kind of encompass oral histories taken from the Algonquin tribe that lived here before we came and basically exterminated their race almost, or send them to a reservation. So there is that, which is specific to the area. Let's see if you're lucky and you remember anything else. You're not, because you didn't really read that part. But nobody else really did either, because let's face it, you're a wasp. You were brought up a wasp. Yeah. So this whole idea of indigenous peoples and them being able to contribute anything wasn't really what was featured at this in this school. You think differently, probably, but back then it was just not.
It was
the done thing.
By now, I'm no more than I would like to know. So that will be maybe something for later. Alice is now torn between moving on to see if we can find Irene, in maybe the next hut, but at the same time, Price is missing, and she has the bad feeling that this is the way to get him, if he's still alive. That is nothing she will say, so she will just... Can we see already the next hut, or would
No, it would be
Alice
about
know from experience how far away the next one would
about
be?
15 to 18 miles.
Oh, God.
So it would be just the same time as well. So you've been gone for 3 hours now, including searching the hut. But it is kind of like early as well, so it's still very early, so it's probably around 11. So you could go to the next hut and then make it back in one piece if you just kept going and didn't really, on the way back, spent a lot of time. I'll leave you 2 minutes while you're thinking. I'm going to take a bio break. I'll be right back.
Okay. Then I have the fun decision to see if Irene made it 3 more hours on skis. That would have meant she went half a day. I highly doubt that. So Alice will stare out for a while and just make a bit of math. And when our GM is back, she will decide to follow the thing. And let's see what happens with that. That will be interesting. Poor Dottie.
So, what have you come up with? What's your decision?
Well, as the viewers, if you don't cut it out, have already heard, Alice thought about that Irene would have had gone then for around 6 hours on skis to get to the second hut, which she thinks is highly unlikely. So she will turn around to Dottie and will be, I know you hate me for that, and you have the option to go back if you like to, but we have to see if Price is down there. And she points into the direction where that thing went into the woods.
Dottie gets off her horse again. She ties off the horse and she says, of course I'm going with you.
Okay. The woods are... Would it be feasible to go still by horse, or is it really by foot?
You would have to walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Alice will get off the horse, will bind it up next to Dottie's horse, and then will use a cane, nevertheless, pistol still in the belt, and will slowly walk towards the wood and will try to follow the trail.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so following the trail is in this case one of the cases where you actually have to look up.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you notice is it is really weird. It's almost like whatever was running, flying, whatever, was running through the trees at branch level, 3-4 meters up, and was basically blazing a trail through those very thick branches. I mean, we're talking coniferous trees here, very thick, which also means that the ground is what snow is. There is more of the lighter variety. So it is, and you can see every so often kind of like, maybe there was a fox there, so it's also a little dark where you are because of the branches, but you can every so often, there is light, shafts of light coming in, and And you walk and you follow the trail with your eyes, and you keep walking, and every so often you look ahead of you so that you don't run into a tree.
Yeah, she will constantly skip up and down, also to see if anything is on the ground that I will just say thing because it's the easiest way. Dropped something or someone.
And at some point you do notice that there is blood on the ground. There are blood spots, very small ones in the beginning, but they're getting bigger and bigger as you go along.
Heavy-heartedly, I will point that out to Dottie.
Dottie just nods.
And Alice will move on forward carefully, slowly, not trying to make not too much noise.
Okay, then make a... Is there something
It's
like
stealth.
sneak? Stealth, yeah, -10 at this one.
Oh god.
Let's see how stealthy Dottie is.
I'm not stealthy.
Oh,
Even without the -10, I'm
she
not
isn't either.
stealthy.
68. Yeah, you're not doing so well.
67, so we're close together.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're paying too much attention to actually what's happening. Yeah. And after a good while, maybe... I mean, this is going to go on, but I think you as soon as you see the blood, you keep going. After about an hour, you have come to maybe the pantry of whatever this is, because you can see there is no ungross way of describing this. You see a torn open carcass of a person hanging from one of the trees, entrails coming out, half eaten, and it's basically been almost like it was dropped and it came to a halt in the trees, and it's kind of hanging there from a couple of branches, and it's definitely dead. And you can tell it's a man.
Alice would
You
like...
can now give me a stability roll, because this is really gross.
Let's see.
Yeah, 63. What's her stability?
Oh, barely, but I made it, barely.
Yeah, she did make it 2, so you both just lose 2.
Okay.
Sorry, sanity. I keep calling it stability. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, and she she looks at it, and you can just hear her go.
Alice wants to get closer to the body because she really wants to know if it's Price or not.
Yeah,
But she will look around before moving any further. She will listen and see if she can hear anything.
Give me a listen roll.
Gosh darn it. No.
Okay, you hear nothing.
Big no. 91 is not good enough. I need to switch dice, I think.
You can really just hear your own breathing and your own heart beating.
She will carefully step closer, just to get the distance, or in the way that she can see the head and the face maybe of the person.
Mm-hmm. So the head is kind of tilted to the side, but it's Price. It's Price, and he's dead.
Alice will just freeze for probably more than a second. And will motion Dottie to go back.
To go back?
So back where we came, to leave, basically.
Yeah.
And Alice will carefully go back as well, but she's going more like halfway, not really turning and going, because then it would be the back to whatever is there. She will go a bit sideways to get away, but still having an eye on whatever could come from
You can now again give me a spot hidden,
because she fears that thing is still there. Which a success.
Okay, yeah, you see nothing.
And for a while, Alice will go sideways until we get to the part where the blood is getting less and less.
Yeah, keep going.
And she would just then turn around and properly move forward, probably a bit quicker now. And she will still try to keep an ear open on whatever could come from up.
You hear nothing really. You hear your own footsteps. But come to think of it, you also hear nothing else. There are no birds anymore. You don't know when you stopped hearing them. It is eerily quiet. You only really hear the noises that the two of you make.
She will go even a step quicker.
So you leave so you go back to the trail.
Yeah. Back to
since you're now not trying to see what's going on, since you're just trying to make haste, it takes you excuse me, a lot less time than it took you going in, because obviously you were looking for stuff and now you're not. You're just looking for the exit, as it were, and you arrive there about half an hour later and there's the horses. So what are you going to do?
Let's get back. We need to warn the people, and we need to wait until the roads are free. The police needs to come here. No one should leave the house.
And what about Irene?
Honestly, I highly doubt she is alive when you look at Price.
You think she's somewhere in there, and she points to the forest? And whatever got Price got her?
I haven't seen any signs of her in the hut. You think we should check the next one? The problem is there might be others searching and they might encounter this, whatever it is.
Who else would be searching? Miss Melinda?
Well, true. And they will not...
The only person I could imagine would be Miss Littlewood, but I doubt that she would go on her own. She's not that stupid.
And they would not await Price back if he went for all three huts.
Yes, because he said he was going to take a trip, so he said it was going to take him all day, didn't he?
Okay, then let's try to be as quick as we can and get to the next hut. That's as far as we go.
Okay, so you get on your horses. You do now pick up the pace, kind of. And it is a 2-hour jolty ride. So you get there, you see the hut. And you don't have to look very far because you can see 2 skis that have been driven into the snow in front of the hut, crossed like that.
Okay.
So somebody came here on skis.
We will move forwards toward the hut.
Yeah, you go to the hut.
Get off.
You look.
She will look inside the window first.
Yeah. It's not pleasant. You see Irene.
Similar way as Price.
Yeah.
I will tell Dottie to stay with the horses.
Okay, Dottie stays with the horses.
I will carefully open the door just a bit and have a quick scan and try to ignore as I can what I'm seeing.
I think what you're seeing is probably not as bad as the stench. You smell blood.
Okay, then I will just immediately shut the door. Take a deep breath, turn around. We need to get back. This is bad.
Is she in there?
Yeah, and Price was a nice view compared to this.
What is this?
I have no idea, and honestly, I don't want to meet it live in person. We need to be quick and we need to be careful.
All right, so maybe... Yes, get on the horse and maybe not meet whatever this is after dark.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's hope just with now that it's getting daytime more and more, it should get a bit warmer and the ice at least should be a bit
it
going
is actually...
away, so the horses should be quicker to move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you return, you ride, you pass the first hut. As you pass the first hut, you can see Dottie is kind of like inadvertently looking to her left, into the woods, and she says a very quick Hail Mary. And you at length arrive without further incidents. I mean, those were bad enough. At the gate. This time she doesn't even wait. She jumps off the horse, she tears open the gate, and she leads the horse inside. And she basically says, yeah, let's just look after the horses and then run inside. Or maybe I'll look after the horses.
No,
and
we do the horses together, that's quicker.
Then she realizes that she doesn't even know what she needs to do. Yeah.
But we will just do the most necessary things.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure the horses are okay, get some food, some drink. We will shut the door properly again.
Yeah.
And then more run inside.
You run into... So do you run into the school or do you go to Mr. Price's house first?
I run to the school.
Okay, you run into the school. You open the door. Melinda is talking to Frances, who looks like she's now 16 years old. She is dressing her down. You have no idea what the conversation is about, but Frances is this close to tears. You can tell she has tears in her eyes. And
we'll just yell at Melinda, where's Brightwood, where's Littlewood?
Excuse me, I'm talking to my servant here, and I don't know where Ms. Brightwood or Ms. Littlewood are.
Useless
and
as
what
always.
is wrong with you? What do you look like anyway?
She will just useless as always and will storm past her and will run probably towards the attic. No, she will run to the kitchen first, because that's a good point to start.
What's your listen?
46.
Okay. You run to the kitchen.
Yeah, I will knock on the door because I'm lied.
Yeah, because... yes?
I will just stick my head in. Miss Gordon, by any chance, have you seen Miss Brightwood or Littlewood?
Have I seen Miss Brightwood? Yes, I have seen Miss Brightwood. Why?
We have a problem.
Well then, yes, please bother her with it. She's in the hall.
Thank you. And I will just close the door and I will go into the direction that she pointed me.
Miss Brightwood is in the hall and she is talking to Miss Martin.
Excuse me, Miss Brightwood?
Miss Baker. Alice, yes, what can I do for you?
Could we by any chance get everyone together in... Probably here is the best. We have a problem outside.
A problem?
Yes.
Now, what kind of a problem?
We found Mr. Price. We found Irene.
What do you mean you found them? Where are they?
They are dead.
What? Excuse me?
Something wild got them. As it seems. We've seen claw marks. We need to warn everyone.
That is most unfortunate. I've always said that we should shoot the bears. I have warned all of the girls against going into the woods. Yes, thank you for bringing this to my attention, Miss Baker.
We should warn everyone that no one should leave the ground.
Oh, of course, quite. Leave it to me. I will do that. Yes.
Just for curiosity, did you have problems with bear attacks lately? Because I don't remember that from my time at school.
Oh, well, the wildlife is pretty wild here in Maine. Psychology.
Yeah, I was like, inside check, wrong game.
Yes,
but
exactly,
kind of
inside
like
check.
Inside check.
Yeah.
And that is a success.
Okay, considering that she is running out of money. Bear attacks or any form of attack or anything like that would probably destroy the school for good.
Yeah.
If there had been bear attacks recently, she would have swept it under one of the rugs in her room probably. Yeah, this is going to be terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
I will let the teachers know, and I will inform the former pupils as well. Just leave it to me, Miss Baker.
Also, we should inform the police as soon as they can get here.
Oh yes, quite. I mean, you know that there was an ice storm, so the roads are all closed. It's going to be 2 days at least before we can get through. But I will inform them as soon as we can get a car out. Having said this, Price will not be driving. Well, I'm pretty sure that Miss Littlewood can drive.
I can go as well if you want to.
Oh no! Don't inconvenience yourself, my dear. We will take care of this.
Alice will just blink without saying anything and will just shake her head and turn to Dottie. And will just walk.
Dottie just raises an eyebrow.
She will just leave and she will go up towards the attic to see if she can find Miss Littlewood.
You can hear Dottie saying, I apologize, Miss Brightwood. And she walks after you.
I don't have... When we're far away enough, she will just whisper to Dottie, I don't have the nerves to deal with these people. She will not tell anyone. She doesn't care. She's just caring about her own standing because that will be bad press for the school. She doesn't care about the people.
No, she doesn't.
Let's see if we can find Miss Littlewood because she cares. And then I want to go out to Miss Price. She needs to know.
Yeah, are you going to tell her?
She has to know. I can't just sit here knowing her husband
But
is
I mean,
dead.
surely we're going to fetch them. We're not going to leave them there, right? I mean, whatever took them might come back and... I mean,
is it worth risking our lives out there?
Of course not.
I don't want to... You've seen the body. I don't want to have that on a horse behind me. We are not prepared for that.
You're quite right. You're quite right.
I'd rather try to get out to the city and get to the police, to be honest. How long
Make an idea roll.
Yeah, how long was the drive from the station to the school?
The drive was about an hour and a half.
Okay, so by horse, within a day at least, it should be feasible. And I barely made the idea roll.
Okay. Good. So you go upstairs.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's in. She's not in her room.
Alice will walk just through the corridors and will just try to see who she can find, because she wants definitely to make sure that Miss Littlewood knows what's going on, but she also wants to make sure if she sees either Penny or Alexandra or Sarah Marie as well, to make sure that they stay inside.
Okay, so you walk around and you actually do see someone. It's poor Frances.
I will just softly say hello to her.
Make a spot hidden.
Okay. No.
Mm-hmm. Hello, miss.
Is she standing, sitting?
She seems to be trying to hug the wall so that you can walk past.
I will just look around if Belinda is nearby.
Can't see her.
I'll just step up next to her and just put my hand on her shoulder.
She flinches quite clearly.
Dear, you don't have to work for her, you know that. There are other jobs out there. If you want to get out, I'm sure I can find someone you can work for without being punished.
Let's see how she takes this. I'm sure, miss.
Just think about it.
Whatever you say, miss.
That is exactly what you don't have to do. You're your own free person. You're not a slave. Just come if you want. And I will tell her just which room my room is, just to make sure that she knows where she can turn. You can come anytime, whenever
Yes,
you feel
miss.
safe.
Basically, you have the feeling that if she could, she would probably melt into the wall.
Mm-hmm. Also, you can talk to Dottie if you want to and feel more comfortable with that.
She looks at, you can hear Dottie say, yes, and my room is just opposite.
And then she will move on and see. Probably I will even make a stop at Penny's door and see if she's in her room. Because I would know where she is.
Yeah, so do you knock?
Yeah, I would just knock.
You hear a voice saying, come in.
I will just open the door and stick my head inside.
You see Alexandra sitting in the chair with a book in her hands, and you can see Penny sitting there smoking a cigarette on the bed and looking at a magazine. Oh, you're back.
Just
how was it?
Motion Dottie to get inside and close the door behind me.
She does. You close the door.
We found Irene. And we found Price. Both are dead. We have to stay inside.
Penny draws on her cigarette and she starts. What?
We've seen claw marks. It was something wild. I have no idea what. I'm not nature person.
Baker, you're not making sense. What?
I don't know what it was. I only know that both are dead and not looking very nice. I told Miss Brightwood, which I'm already regretting. I'm looking for Miss Littlewood. She needs to know. And then I will have to tell Miss Price.
Oh, Miss Littlewood went for a walk.
She went for a walk?
Yes.
Did she say where?
She looks at Alexandra. Do you remember? Yeah, she went to the lake.
Stay inside, don't go outside, and Alice will just storm outside as
Baker,
quick
what
as
the...
she can. And honestly, at the moment, she doesn't even care if Dottie is following or not. That's Dottie's decision, but...
Dottie's following.
Alice is storming down
Miss Alice, slow down.
We need to get her before we have the next one missing.
She points to the nearest window. It's getting dark.
I don't care. We need to find her and see if she's there.
Miss Alice, you can't go out there.
Alice is moving.
She will grab onto you.
She's not stopping. She will go on running.
Let's see. No. She grabs you, but you are too strong because at 62 she can't make a strength roll.
No. So she will run downstairs and she will run outside. And will obviously still keep eye open if she finds Miss Littlewood, because Miss Littlewood would return if it's getting dark. But she would basically run again. It would be the same direction we came from, right? In the direction of the
Yeah,
stables
yeah.
through the gate, and we'll keep eyes and ears open.
And as you run, I mean, Dottie is running after you. You get to the gate, you open the gate, and you can definitely smell a cigar
I will
in
just
the air.
call out, Miss Littlewood.
And you hear the typical somehow grovelly voice going, Baker, what is it?
You should come inside. It's dangerous out there.
Oh, is it? Says who?
Says my eyes that seen what I honestly want to unsee immediately. Could you please come inside? She will stand at the gate, just having the gate open.
she was actually standing a little bit away from the gate, having a smoke. And she steps in front of you and she says, Baker, you look like hell. What happened?
I will just look back and have a look that I don't see one of the prizes. Good. We've found Price and Irene. Both are dead.
They're dead.
Something got to them. We saw claw marks and it was not a nice view. Something is out there and it's dangerous. Did you have any problems with bears or something else attacking people out here?
People, no, but we've had a couple of, well, come to think of it, we've had several deer that have been, for want of a better word, slain.
Well, then probably whatever got to the deers now went up the ladder to people.
You know what, Baker? How about you and we sit down and we have a whiskey and you tell me everything?
Yeah, I told Miss Brightwood I highly doubt she will inform anyone, because it's not good PR. She doesn't care much about Price, does she? The only inconvenience, she found out that no one can now drive towards the city, which she will not send anyone anyhow, because I highly doubt she wants to tell the police.
Price is part of the furniture for her.
Yeah.
But come. And she does something that she's never done before. She puts her arm around your shoulder and she says, we will find a way. We will sort this out. But now you come inside.
Alice makes sure the gate is locked, although she knows it's completely insane because that thing doesn't care about a gate. But still,
no, it doesn't,
for her own sanity, she makes sure it's locked.
The door is locked.
She will also have us on the way back a quick peek if the horses are still inside and everything is safe and sound.
The horses are still inside.
And then, going along with Miss Littlewood.
Miss Littlewood takes you upstairs into the attic where she lives, and then she says, Miss Williams, would you be so kind and talk to the cook? It would be good if we could get some hot tea, something to eat. And yes, this one will eat. And she just points to you.
Which Alice hasn't eaten a single bite the whole day.
Mm-hmm. And if it's not too much to ask, and then you come back and then we will sit down and then we will have a little chat. And Dottie just looks at you and then leaves.
I will just call thank you behind her.
And she says, so, sit down now, Baker. And did the little one see it too?
Well, Price, yes. Irene, I could keep her away from stepping inside the hut.
So, that bad, eh?
Yes. And that was not a bear, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, bears do attack people. This is something that we all know. When you see a bear, make lots of noise, run away, hope that you run faster than your friends. That's, but...
Bears don't go into a hut and murder someone. And bears don't hide in a hut to attack someone who steps inside. Because that looks like what happened to Price this morning.
Well, what you describe is you're describing the worst predator of all. Us. It takes planning. It takes intelligence.
Yeah, but the claw marks and the way what happened, it was animal, beast-like, not human.
Well, you see, I was telling you earlier about those deer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my time, I've seen a couple of wolf attacks.
Also not a nice view, I guess.
Well, yes and no, but it's nature. Wolves hunt in packs, and they eat everything.
Yeah.
And then what they leave behind is left for the scavengers.
Yeah.
Carrion eaters. Those deer, they were different. And I saw 2 of them. And I know you're going to think, oh, she's going to go batty now. But I assure you, I'm still completely corpus mentis. If I hadn't known, and if I didn't know better, I would have said that they were dropped from a height. It was like whatever ate them was eating them in the trees and then dropped them. Which, of course, I know you're going to say this is impossible, because how could it be the case? But that's what it looked like to me.
That's exactly what we've seen. It was over the door inside. It looked like it was waiting there, hanging there, and we've seen traces leaving the hut, and they were not on the ground, they were in the trees. Also, Mr. Price was hanging in the tree.
It's in the trees.
I have no idea what it could be. I've never seen or heard anything about a thing like that, although I'm honestly not the most knowledgeable about animal kingdom. But it fits to what you describe, as weird as it sounds.
Well, I mean, to lift a deer, you have to be very strong, so that rules out any bird that I've ever seen or that I know lives.
It was not a normal bird. We have falcons here, maybe an eagle, but that's the biggest thing, isn't it? And they would not be able to carry a human. Mr. Price is not a tiny person.
She gets up and she opens the door, and she so that Dottie can come in easily. Dottie is holding a tray, and there is tea. There is, of course, crockery, cutlery, and she says the cook is busy with dinner, so I just decided to bring the food packages. I hope that this is all right with you, Miss Littlewood. And Miss Littlewood is like, I hope she pays you enough.
I hope so too.
And she says, of course it's fine, child. Just put it down. And then she starts pouring tea for everybody. And then she says, hold it right there. And she gets up and she goes to a little cabinet and she opens it and she brings out a bottle of whiskey, and she puts whiskey in everyone's tea. And she offers it to everyone. And Dottie, without any second thought, just downs the tea with the whiskey in it, and she's regaining a little bit of her color.
Alice, weirdly enough, is just like sipping carefully. She's just trying to make sense of this. It's nice to get the feedback that something happened that fits to this, but it still doesn't explain anything.
Littlewood then goes to opening the food package, and she takes out the sandwiches. I mean, there's like 2 packages. There's enough food for the 3 of you, and she puts it on a plate, and she hands it to Dottie, and then she says, make sure that she eats something. I have to go away for about 20 minutes. I'll be right back. And she drinks her tea, X, and she leaves.
Okay.
And Dottie just looks at the plate and at the
Alice will
sandwiches, and then she
grab a
looks at you.
sandwich without any fight. She will just grab a sandwich and will just eat something because she must be hungry by now, to be honest.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And
you're also pretty exhausted at this
yeah,
stage.
I think that's more. It's not that you have the taste that you really want to eat something, but it's just like the body says, hey, you need to get something inside. We need energy.
You have no appetite, you just have hunger.
Yeah, we need energy. And so she will just eat a whole sandwich. And we'll still think about what it could be, and the book with the stories comes to her mind, so that would be her next goal after obviously Miss Littlewood returns and we are done. She would go for the books to find out any kind of stories, because by now we've seen so many weird things happening that might be an answer.
Okay, so Dottie also eats something, and then after about 20 minutes, Miss Littlewood comes back. Obviously, it's her own room. She doesn't knock. The door simply opens.
Yeah.
And she says, there won't be any gala dinner. I've just told Miss Littlewood that under the circumstances, there will be nothing. As soon as the roads are clear, I will drive into the city and I will inform the police myself. She is not happy. If I were you, I would stay out of her way.
I honestly don't care. She is not my teacher anymore, so she can't do much.
She chuckles and she says, yes, that's true, but
I've been through a lot. I don't care so much. Do you need company? Then we are 2 drivers in case something happens.
Yes, of course. I would welcome that.
Good. Then we go.
And she looks at Dottie, and Miss Williams, of course, you're welcome to come as well.
I warned Penny not to go outside, and I told her, at least very briefly, not in detail, that Irene and Mr. Price are dead. His wife should know.
Leave that to me. I'll talk to her.
Okay.
I mean, there is nothing really one can say, though. It's going to be...
No.
It's going... Well, I mean, and...
He just wanted to go out and help.
I will take care of this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that the 2 of them will want to leave. We'll just have to find a place that they can go to, but leave that to me.
I can help as well. I can ask around if someone
that would be helpful.
Needs a good helping servant that pays well.
Which
I can also ask Penny if she knows someone around. She knows people in Boston. That's not too far away, but far away enough.
I'm just wondering. I'll have to talk to... Oh God, I'll have to talk to Miss Littlewood one more time. Miss Brightwood. I will have to get an... We will have to inform Irene's family as well.
Yes.
I just hope that we have her address on record. Well, I mean, we did send her an invitation, so it must be somewhere. You don't know anything about her family, husband?
She's not married, as far as I know.
Oh, good. So probably there are no children either. That's good.
But if you have an address, I can find out her nearest people, even if it's just friends. That's not a problem.
Oh, if you would, that would be helpful. I believe she lives in New York, so...
Oh, then it's easy enough.
Because I don't feel like going into the city in 2 days' time and then ringing someone. That would be...
I will go there myself. That is not... I will be there in person, because...
Would you do that? Because I think that would make a big difference.
Definitely. Irene, at least the short impression I got, was a really nice person.
Yeah, I can already imagine Miss Littlewood sending a letter and then asking for a donation between the lines.
I would also, if the police is okay with it, take Irene's personal belongings and hand them over to the family.
I think this would be best.
Yeah.
Good. Then,
If there's anything, I will be. It was like a library, wasn't it, where we've seen
yeah,
the
yeah,
books? I
yeah.
will be in the library. I wanna see if I can find anything helpful.
And there for a second I thought you said you'd be in the chemistry lab. But yes, the library.
The library. Books are always helpful, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And it's interesting that you should say that. You can take the tea. Yes, you have my permission to eat and drink in the library, but don't tell anyone else, especially not Miss Brightwood.
I won't. Also, I will not tell Miss Stockbroke because then Miss Brightwood will
At the
know.
mention of the name Stockbrook, she smiles and she says, "Yeah, that's a different one, isn't she?"
Well, she hasn't changed at all.
No, but you have. Not much, but you have.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yes.
I've learned a lot in addition to what I learned here, which has been a very good base for living, to be honest. I learned a lot here that is helping me. And as you see, I still love books. I still love learning things. That hasn't changed.
And I'm pretty sure getting practice on my lock with your locksmithing skills must have helped as well.
That's part of the job. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. And then she takes another cigar and she starts smoking, and and she picks up her knitting again. So the two of you leave.
Yeah, we just say our goodbyes and leave and go towards the library. Mm-hmm. Although I have the feeling that we should first stop at Penny's room to explain a bit more.
You can do that. It's fine. It's a compact house. You can get anywhere
So first of all,
quickly.
making a stop at Penny's room, just knocking.
Well, she says come, and the two of them are now sitting on the bed together, and they are looking and they're talking, and Alexandra is like, and you can hear Alexandra say, "What is this place? I mean, seriously, bears, monsters?" And Penny's like, "Everything is going to be okay."
Sorry, I ran off. Miss Littlewood is fine.
Oh, come in. Baker, sit down. Miss Dottie, would you also care to take a seat?
Just to finish the harsh me running off, I'm sorry. I was just worried because she was outside. But she's fine. She knows the details now. She will take care. We will drive into town tomorrow with the car.
The day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow. But as soon as the streets are free, we will drive into town and inform the police. And they need to take care of the rest. But we should.
You know what,
stay
Baker?
inside.
Life around you is never boring.
Hey, that's not on me. I never had to deal with wildlife.
As you say this, she does soften and she says, I know.
I'm a city girl. The worst things there are rats. And humans, to be honest. That's the worst part in the city.
What makes you think it wasn't a human?
Claw marks.
Oh, right.
And traces in the trees.
In the trees? What do you mean in the trees?
It seems to come from up.
And inadvertently, the two of them look at the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. I think here we are safe, at least I hope so. But Miss Littlewood confirmed there were deer attacks that did not look like normal attacks from wolves.
But that's a new thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't recall anything like that from our school days.
I don't recall it either. They don't know what it is at all. And I think Miss Littlewood is the only one having any thoughts about this at all, because Miss Brightwood does kind of want to ignore what had happened. I'm sorry there will not be a big gala dinner. It's cancelled. Rightful so.
Alexandra says, Miss Brightwood doesn't want to know.
Well, it's bad PR for the school.
She sucks in the air and she says, I don't know about you, Miss Penny, but as soon as possible, I'm leaving. This is simply unacceptable. People have died and she doesn't want to know. What kind of a person is that? This is the longest stretch of speech you've ever heard her give at any one time.
Well, the thing is, not everyone here is like that. I think Brightwood is the worst person here. The rest are quite nice. As far as I remember, Miss Stockbroke excluded. But
Penny says, hand me my checkbook, please. And Alexandra goes to Penny's handbag, which is lying somewhere else, and she gives her the checkbook, and she tears out a check, and she tears it up. And she says, there goes my donation, Baker. There goes my donation.
I'm tempted to give a big donation, but it's linked to Miss Brightwood has to leave. Because it was a good school. We had a good time here. And Miss Littlewood, as harsh she can be, she's a good person. Miss Gordon, in the cook. And also even the other teachers were really good. And see, we turned out quite well, I think.
Alexandra snorts.
So I'm really tempted to see if we can all get some money together, but link it to Miss Brightwood has to leave because she's not good for the school.
Baker, I would love to see the look on their faces when you tell them that. It's going to be even worse than me explaining about Bob and you showing your PI credentials.
Because I like this place. It's a beautiful place. And it would be sad to see the house go down.
She sticks out her hand to you and she says, deal.
Okay, I will shake her hand. Also, maybe when you're back home or on the way back home, you are friends with money as well and know people. Maybe you can have an eye and ear open for someone maybe looking for a new maid. I guess Miss Price will want to leave as quick as she can with her daughter and find a new place.
Of course. Of course.
I will.
Who's telling her?
Miss Littlewood said she would. If not, I would have gone, but well,
oh,
she
I
knows
think
her
Miss
better.
Littlewood is a good choice. I mean, she isn't...
And they know each other for quite a while.
She can be quite sensitive.
And scary at the same time.
And scary at the same time. No, of course, Price. Yeah, yes, and she's got a daughter too. Of course they have to leave. There is no way she... Alexandra, you can also start thinking if you know anyone, if anyone in Arlington has dropped any hints or anything, and I'll start thinking, and we will come up with something. Don't worry about it, Baker. We will have this sorted.
I will think about as well and see who's there. I'm quite sure that we will be able to find a good place for her. Also, I talked to Melinda's poor servant and offered her that if she wants a way out, she should just come to me or Dottie. Let's see if she takes the hint and uses the jump out.
You will not win the Miss Congeniality
Melinda is treating her like a slave. That poor thing.
Baker, you were a troublemaker at school, and now you're back at school and you're making trouble again. I love it.
Well, that's why we're here, right?
I'm pretty sure that if she'd known how this was going to turn out, Miss Brightwood would not have invited you or me.
Oh, she's regretting that already, I'm quite sure. And I don't care, because I don't have to care. That's the good thing now. She can't give us detention.
No. I wish that Irene was in detention, though, because then at least we would know that she's safe and sound.
Yeah. I offered to talk to whoever is back at home. They only have an address where they send the invitation to. I will check. It's in New York, so... And I will bring her stuff back. And
you should. Because can you just imagine Miss Littlewood?
No.
Or, sorry, Miss Brightwood. She's just gonna...
Yeah. No, I will. Miss Littlewood, it's a big trouble. I have to go back anyway. And,
yeah.
At least that would be something nice I can do for Irene.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I mean, you're one of the last people she was with because she played for us. So you could even talk to them about that.
Yeah.
That at least, on her last evening, she seemed to be... reasonably, if happy is the right word, but she didn't seem to be grieving that much because there was something off about her. She didn't seem very happy. really wonder why she came in the first place.
That is a good question. I'm not sure, and probably we will ever know. But at least I'm happy that we were able to meet her again, and this time properly, because I really don't remember much from school of her.
No, but I did remember one thing after we, spent the evening. Even back then, she composed.
Yeah.
So she must have had a lot of talent to compose.
Well, I will, at least when I'm back home, I will try to find out more about her. I'm curious if she kept on making music and composing, and if there's anything out there from her.
Maybe.
Would be interesting to know.
If there was, I mean, she did say that things happen, so maybe at some point in time she was making music, maybe she was performing.
I hope for her, because she had so much talent. Oh well. But for now we are stuck in here. As I said, just be careful, don't go outside.
I'm not leaving this house unless I've got a car.
Good.
And Alexandra and I, we will be leaving as soon as possible. We are not going to stay around. We're going to talk about this donation, and I think we should do that maybe even tomorrow or the day after, but as soon as we can, we're going to get out of here, and we're not going to leave the house unless we have a car that takes us straight to Bangor.
That is...
But the same goes for you, Baker.
Well, I will leave before that with Miss Littlewood to go to the police. That's a
but you won't be sneaking off into the forest, right?
No, promise.
Good. Very good.
I'm not insane. I don't want to end up like them.
Good. Okay.
Maybe we could talk to Sarah Marie as well. I'm not sure how much money she has and if she's able to give much, but maybe she would be in.
Leave that to me. I'll talk to Sarah Marie.
Okay.
And I'll also break the news gently to her. Not that you weren't being gentle, but...
Well, I don't have to be too gentle with you, but, well...
I know. I'll talk to her.
Okay, I will see you around.
Mm-hmm. Well, at breakfast tomorrow, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You skip dinner.
Well, things to do. See you around, and I will just get up. I will wave, and we'll go towards the library.
Okay, you go to the library.
Yeah.
Dottie is on your heels. You get to the library. It's a library. Dottie places the food items and the drink, which she had been holding all the time, on the desk, on one of the desks. And then she says, so, where do we start?
I've seen some books around on local folklore and stories. I think that's a good point to start.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you don't need to make library use rolls because you obviously know how to use libraries.
I'm so good at it.
Okay, well then roll. I mean, okay.
I have a
if you want it, that's fine.
I have a 75.
Oh, Dottie rolled a 25, which is also fine because she has a
library
35.
I rolled a critical success in library.
Okay, cool. So she has a 25. So between the two of you, you actually pinpoint exactly the books that you want, and you sit down. And because it's a critical success, the first book that you open, by chance, is a book of stories. It's a collection of. It's a fiction book. However, it's a book of folklore, more or less. Interestingly enough, it's not about the area here, but it's about an area in Canada. Now, Maine, Canada, I mean, I don't know if Maine actually borders on Canada, but it's pretty close.
It's at least close-ish, yeah.
Yeah. And you start reading. And something catches your eye because the book also has... you know those woodcuts? Prints in them. And you see a picture of a foresty area. And on the ground, in the foreground, you can see there are people sitting around a campfire. It's dark, it's night. You can see the moon, which has been kind of like hiding behind the trees. And in the trees, about 5 meters up, you just see two eyes looking out and down onto the people. And that kind of catches your eye. And you look at the text around it and you notice it's a story called The Wendigo. And you start reading.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells the story of two men who have hired two local guides, and one of them is a Native American, or well, First Nations Canadian, and the other one is some kind of French Canadian, so it's in the east. And they are on a hunting trip, and it turns out that there is a being called the Wendigo, which is, well, supposed to be an Indian legend. And the story goes that one evening they're sitting in their tents, and then they hear this voice calling one of them by their names, and he goes outside and he vanishes, and then he comes back, and he has changed, and he's very gaunt and very thin. He looks completely emaciated, and he talks to them, and he tells them that he has met this Wendigo, and then he starts running away from them, and they run after him, and they notice that the further and further they go, the higher and higher up he starts getting, and it's like he's flying. And then when the morning comes, the only thing, because it's not winter like here,
Mm-hmm.
they see that the earth where he was walking is scorched, and his footprints were not really footprints. They're just like wide, round imprints on the ground. It's like the grass was burnt away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next night they can only hear him shout, "Oh, my feet of flame, where are they taking me?" And then they find dead deer, and the story ends.
I will put the book down, take a deep breath, and just push it over to Dottie.
Dottie takes a look. She has also been reading. Wendigo.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second. And she moves the book that she has over to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually it's a written report about the Wendigo phenomenon. And it is written by a police officer who was called to to a Native American tribe where a Wendigo was present. And the Wendigo basically was preying on the people in the village, and he was abducting them. And when they finally found him, he was a member of the tribe. They could recognize him. He had changed a lot. He's now very gaunt, very thin.
Mm-hmm.
And he had been eating human flesh. And basically then he records that he calls them Injuns, explained that the Wendigo is a spirit in the woods that befalls those that break the law of thou shalt not eat human flesh. And that then the spirit is inside you, and then at times it comes to the fore, and then they start hunting, and they eat human flesh, and they basically prey on humans.
Any hint on what to do against them to scare them off?
They shot them.
This fits very well to what we've seen.
Yeah, but this one is a story, and this one sounds like someone was trying to write a horror novel. I mean, do you really believe this? A spirit in the woods possessing those that eat human flesh, and then who would that be?
I don't know, but have you seen what we've seen? And
Well, yes, I have.
that was not a normal animal.
No, it wasn't a normal animal.
And it ate human flesh. That is quite true.
Yes, it ate human flesh. But why now?
Maybe it traveled and it found a nice place here because it's quite beautiful.
But didn't Miss Littlewood say that in the past there were deer carcasses for the last year?
Yeah.
Why now humans?
Hunger? If the stories are true, they are driven to human flesh.
So you're saying in the beginning it was still holding out?
Maybe. I have no idea. It's just imagination.
So it's out there.
Definitely.
How
Whatever
can we
it
make sure
is.
that it doesn't come here?
Nothing. We can just keep doors and windows shut and hope it doesn't come inside. I know that's not helping to even find sleep in the next days. I have no idea why it's started here, because it was not there when I grew up here.
Well, I certainly hope not, because that would have been really dangerous.
Believe me, I would not have come back here if I knew that there was some kind of danger. The only thing I knew that could happen was the storm, because it's a time of year where it could happen. But that's not dangerous if you're safe and sound and clever enough to stay inside. Even Irene would have been safe. She found the way to the hut. She did the right thing.
And then you
hiding
think
from
this
the
thing
storm.
found her?
It looked like it. The skis were outside, nicely crossed as you would put them outside and go inside and wait for the storm to pass.
I don't know. I mean, this is a lot worse than meeting ghosts.
Yes. Honestly, I would take a ghost over everything, because with a ghost slowly I have an idea what to do. Scary
You do
enough.
have,
Scary
yeah, you
enough.
have a gun. I think a gun helps. It says here he shot it.
Yeah, I'm quite sure there are a few more guns. Price definitely had some kind of gun in case of animals were here.
He probably had a shotgun,
I'm
yes.
quite sure. And honestly, I'm not sure if Miss Littlewood maybe doesn't have something there. She seems like a survivor. Not sure, to be honest, because here in the school you usually don't need it.
But she wouldn't go outside and try and find it herself, would
No,
she?
I don't think so.
Good.
The question is, how do we explain to the police what happened?
Well, we could show them the bodies.
Well, that definitely, and then they should make their own idea out of what they see.
My word of advice, don't tell them this, because they might think that...
We will just describe what we've seen and talk about wild beast animal. We are not sure what. We've just seen claw marks. I think that's
because
a
this
decent
sounds very
description.
far-fetched.
I know. Miss Littlewood was worried enough to tell that it looked like the deers were jumped from up the sky, not like bears or wolves would attack.
So the same thing. So if we showed her this, she would probably believe it?
Yeah. Maybe. Not sure. She's probably torn just as we are between it makes sense reading, but it doesn't make sense because it's a story. But honestly, we know stories about ghosts, and no one would believe that they are real.
But if this story is right, then there's a human being out there that is somehow transformed or something, but it's a human being. Do you think they know what they're doing?
I hope for them they don't. But they are out there, and they can't stay out there, because then it means definitely that no one should live in this area.
Make a listen roll. Oh, she rolled a 90. She has nothing.
I have a success.
Okay. You hear commotion outside. There are people walking around, running.
Okay. I will just raise an eyebrow, get up, and open the door and stick my head outside.
You see Miss Brightwood running in how fast her long skirt will allow her, and she sees the door open. It gives her a start. She's like,
What
"Oh,
happened?
it's Miss Martin. She's missing. She's left. She walked out, and I assumed she was going somewhere. And when I walked outside, the front door was open, and one of the maids said she had walked out."
But she was so weak after her.
Yes, I don't know. She's got a sprained ankle. I don't understand why she would be going outside. It's dark outside, and there's this. We have to find her. You can tell now she is really concerned.
Mm-hmm. Which is surprising, but at least giving her a little bit of bonus points that there's still human inside her. Do we have some... I want to say torches is the wrong word.
Yeah, no, it's
lanterns.
Actually, it is a torch, yeah.
Lanterns.
Yes, of course, yeah. Normally Price should go, but...
Yes, I know. We should make sure that the prizes are inside here, not out there. Miss Littlewood wanted to talk to Miss Price. I'm not sure if she went.
Miss Littlewood wanted to talk to... whatever, I'm pretty sure she's done this...
Nevertheless,
Why don't I go and fetch Miss Littlewood?
Yeah,
no, why don't you go and fetch Miss Littlewood? And
please, you know best where to find her. You know the place better than I do, much better than I do. I will just grab something from her room, and then I will have a look around the area. It was the front door?
Yeah, she walked out the front door.
Okay.
Okay.
Alice will just... I'm sure Dottie heard everything.
Yeah, no, as soon as you opened the door and there was stuff happening, Dottie was there kind of like listening.
I will just grab... Oh, I didn't go back to my room. I still have the pistol with me.
Yeah, you have your handbag, yes.
I will not go to my room. I will just go downstairs. Out or get organized a lantern because I need to see something. I don't know if they have some standing around. If not, she will probably...
you can find them easily. It's not a problem.
Ask in the kitchen, and she will turn on the lantern. Will ask Dottie to as well have one in her hand. That we have two, and I will just open the front door carefully. I will have... Oh, I need my... The question is, if I stand and slowly move, I don't urgently need the cane, I would imagine.
You would have to... You are now at the top of the stairs. You would have to hold on to the rails going down because they are slippery and you are a little bit incapacitated.
Then I would not have a lantern with me. Then I would just have Dottie with the lantern because I want to have the pistol in my hand. So we have to team up. I would just open the door, not really stepping outside, and I would scan what I can see.
You can see foots
to down because I don't want to be jumped by something up.
Looking up, you see nothing.
Okay.
Looking down, you see the stairs. going to say metal, but I mean stone stairs. And you can see somebody walking down. And this person was obviously also using a cane.
Mm-hmm. My cane, to be
Your
precise.
cane. A cane, your cane, yes. And they were walking down the staircase into the drive. The drive is now, of course, full of snow, obviously, and you can see the parked car, which is completely snowed under. So it's like really there's this lump of snow sitting there, which is the school bus. And then they took a turn to the left to basically, it seems like circling the house, the mansion, and going into the garden. Out back. Where the woods are.
Just for me to remind me, Miss Martin was not a teacher when I was at school, right?
Oh, I think she was, but she would have been very young. She's now 40, 45, so she would have been probably just recently arrived from France. But you don't remember her looking that gaunt or that ill.
Alice will just go down the stairs and will see the trail, but she's stopping, and she will have again a look around and a listen more also.
Then please give me a roll.
For looking, listening, for both?
Listening. It's dark.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you can only see so far.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay. You hear nothing. And, I mean, nothing.
Nothing. That's exactly the point. I will motion to Dottie. We have to go inside. It's not safe out here.
Okay, you go back inside. You close the door.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we see next time what actually happens?
Yeah, with look to the time. It's probably the best. Then I can think about what on earth.
What the next move would be.
Because
So
Alice is torn to go outside and to follow the trail, but honestly, she's clever enough. She wants to survive, because out there, even with the pistol.
Yeah, whatever this is, it's going to be fast. This
Yeah.
is something that
The
you have
shotgun
noticed.
would be nicer because it spreads out. The chance of hitting something is higher.
That's a good point, yes. That's a good point. Okay.
So, inside we are standing behind the closed front door.
Looking at the door, and we'll
Looking
see in
at
2
the
weeks'
door.
time what happens when you look at the door. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. And so I'll just